Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. And Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, this is just a little heads up so that you understand, okay? And you should understand that a drill in Babylon the Great is used for a false flag, going back to what they call the Twin Towers situation in '01. All right, there was a parallel drill being run at the same time, right? I guess we should get it real quick. Let's see. This dude right here. All right, so let's say 9. We'll just type that in and see what comes up with that. Okay. Okay, the NORAD tapes. Let's just look at this. This is from '06. Okay, and you got to go back this far to understand. Okay, let me set this up correctly. The NORAD tapes, Vanity Fair. How did the U.S. Air Force respond on 9 that? Could it have shot down United 93 as conspiracy theorists claim? Okay, so they're saying they shot down their own jetliner, if you will. Okay, so obtaining 30 hours of never before released tapes from the control room of NORAD's Northeast headquarters, the author reconstructs the chaotic military history of that day and the Pentagon's apparent what is this? North American something, something, something. NORAD is the air command. This is where they monitor the airspace over the United States. Okay, it's a military situation, and they're watching all the planes, right? And they know what's going on. So what they did was at the same time 9/11 is supposedly going down with jetliners that are being run into the so-called Twin Towers, why weren't any military jet fighters scrambled to shoot them down or to prevent whatever happened happening? Okay, now they'll go into it. Let's see. Let's see. Try to get it in a nutshell. It says, through the heat of the attack, the wheels on what were perhaps some of the more modern pieces of equipment in the room, for dictaphone. See, what they did was they had to destroy information of what actually went on. It says, for the Needs crew, 9/11 was not a story of 4 hijacked airplanes, but one of a heated chase after more than a dozen potential hijack, some real, some phantom, that emerged from turbulence of misinformation that spiked in the first 100 minutes of the attack and continued well into the afternoon and evening. At one point in a span of a single minute, one hears Nispani, Nisipani, struggling to parse reports of 4 separate hijackings at once. What emerges from the barrage of what Nasipani dubs as bad poop flying at his troops from all directions is a picture of remarkable composure. Snap decisions more often than, you know what, this isn't really saying this is going in detail into what actually went on. I just want a summary. I want it to be summarized, if you will. Drilling results. Holes were drilled. No. And you have to understand that at this point, everything of any value has been expunged. Okay, basically, there was a drill going on. Okay, let's see. Let's say war games. NORAD. Let's say NORAD. War games on. Let's see if this produces anything. Okay, the military exercises planned for September that day, 01, included Global Guardian, an annual command level exercise organized by the United States Strategic Command in cooperation with Space Command and NORAD. Primary purpose is to test and validate nuclear command control. So, let's see. Basically, there were drills or war games going on at the same time, and the scenario of the war game was identical to what was going on in real time. In other words, there was a false flag going on. All right. Now, of course, they're going to spin it years later and only allow you to see what they want you to see. So we'll move on from there. Now, why this? Why am I going into this? This is Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Okay. With that being said, we got war games going on. This is one day ago. The new Next News Network with Gary Franchi. The day Houston stood still, alarming nuclear drills shake city. So what's going on down there? What's going on down in Houston, Texas right now? They are rehearsing and simulating a nuclear nightmare. Why are they doing that? Okay? For one of two reasons. Oh, it might happen, so we're getting prepared just in case a nuke goes off. Yeah? Right? Is that what they're doing? Okay. Well, what happens during these drills, right? This scenario, this nuclear drill, what happens is it goes live like it did in 2001. Okay? So we'll watch this. It's only like 4 minutes, and then we'll read some of the comments, and we'll see what they say. Okay.
Imagine waking up to a city under siege by a nuclear nightmare. This week, Houston will experience just that as the military stages a terrifying nuclear training drill. Are we ready for the horrifying reality of nuclear war? As North Korea and Russia loom in the shadows, a cloud of fear and anxiety engulfs the city. Join us as we delve into the chilling details of this apocalyptic exercise and uncover the truth behind Houston's harrowing war games. I'm Gary Franchi. I want you to stay informed. Tap subscribe below and enable notifications for the latest news and updates. This week, Houston residents find themselves at an epicenter of a large-scale nuclear training drill as the military simulates a catastrophic nuclear attack on American soil. The FBI warns of the presence of military personnel, aircraft, and protective gear, but assure the public that there is no cause for alarm. With mounting threats from North Korea and Russia, this exercise highlights the government's growing concerns and its efforts to prepare for a potential nuclear crisis. The drills will take place at various locations, including Ellington Field, a Defense and Homeland Security compound shared by multiple military units from all 5 branches of the U.S. Armed Forces. Well, the FBI has not disclosed the reasoning behind Houston's selection of the city's dense population and critical infrastructure make it a prime target for a nuclear attack. Last year, the U.S. Department of Energy's National Nuclear Security Administration led a similar exercise in Austin, Texas, dubbed Cobalt Magnet 22. Over 30 local, state, and federal agencies participated in the major radiological incident drill. This week's exercises in Houston are part of a series of regularly scheduled U.S. government biannual exercises. Several key agencies, such as the Department of Defense, the Department of Energy, the National Nuclear Security Administration, FBI, and the Department of Homeland Security, will be involved in the training alongside local, state, law enforcement, fire emergency management, and public health agencies. These exercises are designed to enhance operational readiness and response capabilities in the event of a nuclear incident, whether in the U.S. or overseas.
Huh? We're going to go in and get the definition of predictive programming as well, Lord willing.
Despite the frightening nature of the drill, the FBI emphasizes the training will not pose any risk or interference to the public. The timing of these exercises is particularly concerning as tensions between the United States and North Korea.
Pay particular attention to this. Okay.
As well as Russia escalate. During a recent state visit by the South Korean president, U.S. President Joe Biden warned North Korea that a nuclear attack would be met with an overwhelming response.
You hear that? Okay, because this guy threatens all the time. So you got your boy threatening right back, huh?
This warning has only fueled North Korea's development of tactical nuclear weapons capable of targeting its neighbors and refining long-range weapons to threaten the United States. Furthermore, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine has elevated the risk of nuclear war with Russia. Dmitry Medvedev, the Deputy Secretary of Russia's Security Council, stated that NATO's provision of military assistance to Ukraine brings the world closer to a nuclear apocalypse every day. Russian President Vladimir Putin has not shied away from suggesting the potential use of nuclear weapons during the Ukraine crisis and has even overseen nuclear exercises within Russia.
And today, last night, they were flying drones in Moscow at the Kremlin trying to kill this guy. Now, in order for an operation like that to move forward, it would have had to have been in the pipeline for at least a week. You understand? They don't just do things on the fly, right? Or without permission. So they knew that they were going to be attempting to assassinate this guy, and if they didn't get him, what do you think that they were? What is his response going to be? Well, it could be the list of cities that he's gonna nuke. So what? They're getting ready for that, yeah?
The Houston drills also serve as a stark reminder of the need for public preparedness. In 2018, a false ballistic missile alarm in Hawaii led to widespread panic among residents and tourists, revealing the importance of clear communication and readiness for such emergencies. As the military stages its ominous nuclear training exercise in Houston, residents are left to ponder the chilling reality of a world on the brink of nuclear conflict. With the ever-present threats from North Korea and Russia looming large, this week's war games serve as a grim reminder of the potential devastation that could be unleashed on America's cities. As we continue to monitor the situation, remember that staying informed and prepared is crucial in these uncertain times.
Staying prepared and staying what? We just brought that out in Syria.
So tune in to Next News for ongoing coverage of this.
Okay, let's read that again real quick. It says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small, which is why we're doing this. This is Sirach 5 and 15, okay? Now, with that being said, let's get this real quick. What did I say we were going to look up? Predictive programming. Let's get that real quick, because that's what this is. Predictive Hit the let's get look at this. Can we just get a damn definition without explaining it away? Conspiracy theory. Where is the definition? Okay, Salaki. Definition. It won't even give you predictive programming definition. Gosh, this thing is so. Come on. Predictive coding, predictive programming. Can I get a definition? Apparently I can't. Look at this. This is just crazy. Look at this. Predictive programming. The idea where the elites want to make stories, but this is stupid. Why does it have to go into that? Can't we just get a simple definition of what predictive programming is? Apparently not. Why? It just goes right into conspiracy. Predictive programming is to, I'll give you an example. The X-Files is full of predictive programming. Things 20 years ago they used to put in movies are now happening. That's predictive programming. And they won't even say it. They won't even give you a definition. They won't even give you a definition. This is terrible. You see this? This is crazy. All right, so we apparently we won't get. Okay. The phrase predictive programming has been used to describe media content that predicts or eerily foreshadows events that happen in the future. Okay, was that so hard? And that still is casting a bad shadow. Boy, this is crazy. There's no such thing as a dictionary no more. Well, we got the Urban Dictionary, right? Okay, so this is complete predictive. What is this predicting? It's predicting a nuclear nightmare. Why are you holding drills for nukes? Maybe because Mexico is right there. When they show this, okay, when they show this, is this the view from Mexico right here? Of the skyline from Mexico? Here's Mexico. Looking, okay, so if Mexico is siding with BRICS and wants to get into BRICS, wouldn't it be like the whole reason why the Ukraine is trying to join NATO so that they can put those bombs right there on the border? Isn't this the same thing? Couldn't be, right? Let's see, what do we have here? Let's look at this real quick. This is how many days ago? Don't be alarmed, the FBI, right? Oh, we forgot the, we'll go back. This is 2 days ago. Don't be alarmed, FBI conducting nuclear training incident exercise in Houston. Why? Why? It could go live at any moment. Do we have to watch this? Let's watch it.
Well, the FBI is warning Harris County residents that they'll see a heavier law enforcement presence this week, but they say that doesn't necessarily mean anyone's in danger. Stephanie Whitfield is live this morning with more details. Stephanie, what's the FBI doing this week?
They're conducting a big training exercise in Southeast Houston, and since you could see a large number of police, they're trying to get the word out ahead of time to avoid any kind of panic, especially in light of the manhunt for Francisco Oropeza. Now, take a look at the alert sent out by the agency. They say this is going to be a large-scale training exercise involving multiple agencies simulating a nuclear incident. Because of that, emergency responders will be wearing protective equipment. You may even see aircrafts from federal and local law enforcement as part of this drill. The FBI says this training exercise will not put the public at risk, but we know seeing this huge emergency response could cause some concern for people, especially if they don't know what's happening. So be sure to let your neighbors know if you live in Southeast Houston. This training exercise will be happening all week long.
Now, what makes more sense is that they have intelligence, right? America has spies, they got espionage, they got all sorts, and they came across some information that, oh, they might drop a nuke on Houston this week. Let's get prepared. Doesn't that make more sense? Doesn't it? Let's read some of the comments. If you are alarmed and evacuate, they will not be able to estimate how many victims there will be when they execute their when they execute their drill. Listen to the irony. Okay? Say, hey, what would happen if we took all of the personnel involved with the nuclear threat drill, drove them to San Jacinto County, and let them join the manhunt for the mass shooter? Did you see that? Because they mentioned the mass shooter. They called him out by name, right? All I heard was nuclear, Houston, FBI, don't worry. Run for your lives. All right. Being that Houston is one of the first cities that would be hit in a nuclear war, I don't find this alarming. I hope they do this at least once a year. This is an idiot. Okay, let's see what the idiotic responses are. Fort Hood, da 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 da. It's on the door. You're both wrong. Houston. The Houston Ship Channel would be the target. Hurts the nations, not just the town. In my opinion, peace. I don't see what else in Houston would be the target. You're right about this. BG. I'm not trying to be funny. Why not DC, New York, etc. first? Is there a reason other than that to hit H-Town? Canadian asking this. Oh, we know. We trust the FBI. Laughing, right? Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Everything is fine. This Wizard of Oz programming. Training to push their fellow Americans into train cars. Look at that. Is it false flag season already? Now I'm scared for what's to come. They also did training for other things that ended up happening. Uh-oh, there's that word. What is this? Shake my head. No predictive programming here. Buckle up. They always tell you what they're going to do before they do it. I'm sick of these demons. Pray for all the innocent and the Most High bless. We already live in an EPA sacrifice zone. When they say don't be alarmed training only, look out because the SHIT fixing to hit the fan and the FBI will be controlling the buttons. Don't be alarmed, right? So it's The Last of Us. Whoa. Whoa. What's really happening here? Let's go into that. End of times. They're actually hiding. It's underground. Don't be alarmed. Ha ha ha. They only train where these things are going to happen. Right? No big deal. Just nuclear war training. Ha ha. Oh yes, it has gotten here by shipping containers. I'm sure from Iran, Russia, China would be responsible. Okay, so keep your eyes open. All right, let's go back here real quick because I wanted to find some sort of parallel link to this thing here. 1,500 troops destined for U.S.-Mexico border to help with expected huge surge of migrants coming on the 11th, right? the 11th of May, when that, what is it, Title 41 or whatever they call it, goes down, what Title 42 policy ends. It says the move comes days before the Title 42 policy ends. So keep your eye on this too, right? Let's watch this real quick. So, hey, I mean, Babylon is falling this fall.
So far in 2023, the Border Patrol has already seen a huge uptick in migrant encounters over last year, a 134% increase.
Remember, if Mexico wants to become part of BRICS, what does that do? That moves the dividing line, right? The DMZ, if you will, right there onto the Texas border. And these are potential, right? Anybody coming from South America through Mexico could be a potential sleeper agent, yeah? Right? If Mexico is part of BRICS and Russia wants to move their weapons on to the Texas border, isn't that what they're doing in the Ukraine right now? Same thing. Wake up.
Now, with Title 42 about to expire, they expect it will get worse, and the administration is calling in reinforcements.
In light of the changes on May 11th and the anticipated surge, DHS did reach out and request this support.
As soon as next week, the Pentagon says the first of the 1,500 active duty troops could arrive at the U.S.-Mexico border. Border Patrol agents say help is desperately needed to process the anticipated migrant surge, which could top 10,000 per day.
I don't have enough agents. I don't have enough infrastructure. I don't have enough technology. I have
See how they get Ishikar? Let's get Ishikar to explain this away.
areas where I think our agents have really locked down the border security situation.
To allow border agents to directly deal with migrants, the White House says the troops will be at the border for 90 days and only in a support role.
These personnel will be performing administrative tasks like data entry and warehouse support. They will not be performing law enforcement functions.
Republicans have put the blame on President Joe Biden for relaxing restrictions at the border and escalating the crisis. Texas Governor Greg Abbott tweeted, "This does nothing to stop illegal immigration. I deployed up to 10,000 Texas National Guard to the border to fill the gaps created by Biden's reckless open border policies." But the White House says it's up to Congress to produce meaningful immigration reform.
The president understands that we need a system, an immigration system that needs to meet the moment, that's modernized.
Arizona's Senator Kirsten Sinema, an independent from a border state, weighed in on the border crisis on Fox News.
There are a lot of bipartisan plans that we've been working on with some of our colleagues in the Senate and the House that could actually make a difference. It would be most helpful if the administration would start by actually enforcing the laws that are on the books.
All right, you know what? Whole bunch of finger pointing going on there. What's actually going on? All right? What's going on down here? I'll tell you what's going on. Babylon the Great has fallen this fall. All right, so let's get a couple and go ahead. I just wanted to put that out there that, hey, something's going on in Texas. Yeah? If they're trying to kill Vlad openly and missing, is Vlad not about to strike back? Okay, so get ready for anything that could happen. All right, let's get 2 Corinthians. 2:11. In order that Satan should not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. He uses a drill to carry out what he's actually, his false flag, right? Ignorant of his schemes. Where's that plan? Let's get plans. Of his plans and schemes. Here we go. Good news. In order to keep Satan from getting the upper hand over us, for we are not, for we know what his plans are. All right? What are his plans down here? Well, what he tells you he's doing, okay, he's putting it in your face. Schemes. Let's go back real quick. His devices. Let's see. Designs, schemes, plans. What am I looking for? Device. What goes on in his mind. This guy has his intentions. Okay. What does he have to do? He's got a set of rules that he has to play by, right? They have to, on the left, in order for left-hand magic, right, or left-handed spiritual power to work, part of the protocol, if you will, is they have to put in front of you what their intentions are. Okay, do we got intention? Schemes. I don't see intentions. All right, he has to show you his intent. Okay, for example, all right, a vampire cannot come into your house and suck your blood unless you invite him in. It's the protocol of a vampire, if you will. You have to invite the vampire into the house. So he's going to put on, he ain't going to show you his fangs. He's not going to have his collar all the way up, and you won't be able to see his wings, right? Until he gets in the house, and then he'll show you all of that, right? And you done invited the vampire in, and now he has the permission because he went by the protocol. You invited him in. He didn't just break the door down. He knocked and asked for a cup of water, and you said, all right, just this once. And then you land on the ground like a sheet, a bed sheet, because you ain't got no more blood. All right, so anyway, we are familiar with his evil schemes. Why? Because he showed it to you. He said, here's what I plan on doing. You just took the bait. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. All right, watch out for the nukes. You brothers and few sisters, with that, shalom.